Hey guys, make sure you follow me on social media. That way we could be a little bit more interactive. You could tell me what type of content you want to see in the futures, and I could keep you guys updated, on videos and when I'm going to upload them, things like that. And also, follow me on Stardust. The Stardust app allows you to film your initial reaction to like a TV show episodes or a movie. It's a really cool app. Like, when I got out of the movie, I like to film those like initial thoughts video. Really easy to sign up and then follow me at allmanfondly. So yeah, thank you guys. So we've got our first superhero movie of this year, and let me tell you something. 2018 has got off to a flying start. Now, before I even start talking about the movie, let me just say a few things. Now, I'm not saying aren't, a bunch of racist asshole out there trying to, say negative things about this movie. But you have to keep in mind that not all people who dislike the movie is racist. As much as I love the movie, as much as I, understand how this movie is very personal, very important to certain people, perhaps not to me, to that certain extent for obvious reason. But in the end of the day, it's still a movie. It is still a movie, and there will be people who don't share opinions with you. And, I know there's a lot of, hype behind this movie, and for really good reasons. But we have to keep an open mind. Sometimes people, react differently. As good as the movie is, there will be people who find it bad. There will be people who don't like the movie, and that's fine. It's just a movie. So again, there are racist asshole out there who's trying to not sabotage the movie, but like trying to bring it down a bit. Trying to be negative about this movie. But there are also people, and I would say most people who dislike the movie are not racist. They just go to a movie and they're like, you know what, the movie's not for me. And that's totally fine. So I just want to put it out there. When the first Rotten review on Rotten Tomato for this movie came out, I posted photos like, oh, that's one person who always messed things up for everybody. It was a joke, okay? I didn't really mean it, in a serious sense. It was just a joke. It's perfectly fine if you saw the movie and you're like, I didn't like it. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, now let's review the movie. As I said, because it's just a movie, there will be positive and negative things about it. And I would like to get the negative things out of the way first, because I would like to end the video on a positive note. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say things that I didn't like, and fortunately there aren't many. First things, not really the movie fault, but it's kind of the MCU sort of problem. And I guess because every single sort of studios out there trying to build like a cinematic universe is like a trend in Hollywood. Because you already seen T'Challa in the Infinity War trailer. You already know that he's going to be alive by the end of the movie. It took some of the suspense out of the action sequences, and that was a bit disappointing because there's a few action sequences in this movie where you genuinely fear for T'Challa's life, like he could be killed in one of those scenes. But because of the knowledge that you already have that he's gonna make it to Infinity War, it took a little bit of that fear for the main character out of the movie a bit. The action is still very entertaining, but because you already know he's going to be alive, it took the suspense out of the action a little bit. So that was kind of disappointing. There are certain characters in this movie that I find very intriguing and complex, and I just feel like they didn't really have enough screen time. They were very good at what they do, but I just need a little bit more of them. And I have noticed this for a while, but it's sort of like a trend in the superhero movie franchise, not just Marvel, but like I guess DC as well. They would hire a very successful indie director to direct their movie, and what you get from these indie directors, you get really good character moments, you get really good story, some really good humor, and the indie filmmakers, they really brought the personality to this movie, and I'm all for that. But then I noticed something in all these movies, that the visual effect could use a bit more improvement. Maybe because the these filmmakers, they're not very experienced with shooting on green screen, and the body suit like with like dot on it to like make the CG character and whatnot. I just feel like they don't have enough experience to work with those materials. Some of the shot in this movie are gorgeous, like the sceneries, some of the landscape shot, the scene where he went to this like realm with like the purple background. It was beautiful, absolutely perfection. But when it's come to the CG for the suit, and like sometimes there's some really tricky stunt where you have to CG a whole character, like sometimes two characters would be fighting and both of them are fully CG. It looks fairly noticeable. Like, it just took me right out of the movie. I'm like, oh god, that looked really, really bad. The scene where Killmonger and T'Challa is fighting in their suit, it's kind of remind me of Spider-Man 3. I don't know, it's the CG, and I don't really have a problem with them, looking fairly similar, because one is the golden jaguar with like the golden line on the suit, and Black Panther is the purple sort of patterns on it. So I didn't really have a problem telling who's who, but it's just again the special effect of that scene is just really, really, really disappointing. And you know how like the VFX, usually they do like layers of visual effect. These scenes, it just feel like a couple of layers are missing and it looks unfinished. And now let's go to the positive, and man, this is gonna take a while. First of all, I just want to congratulate Ryan Coogler. He is a very young director, a black director, a really successful one at that. 3 out of 3 now. I mean, I haven't seen Fruitvale Station. I think that was his first sort of feature. I heard it's really good. I haven't seen it, but Creed was one of my favorite movies that year. And now we got Black Panther. At that age, to be that successful in Hollywood, that's super inspiring. That is inspiring as heck. And the cast of this movie, my god, like, what more can I say about the cast? They're all fantastic, and even that is an understatement. Chadwick Boseman, my god, this guy, you thought he was good in Civil War? You haven't seen nothing yet. In this movie, the character of T'Challa, aka Black Panther, he is even more complex. He is no longer the really vengeful character like he was in Civil War. There's part of that badassery left in him, but he is a much more composed, calm. Like, everything he does has a reason, and he just seemed like a very wise young man who is just is just a great role models for kids. I absolutely love Lupita Nyong'o as Nakia. I heard she is going to be in the comics. She is like a villain of some sort named Malice, I believe. So that would be interesting to see how they sort of develop a character in that route, if they choose to in future installment, of course. And let me look at her name real quick. Danyai Gurira. I don't know. I probably just messed up her name. Sorry about that. She played Okoye. Again, I'm not very good with names, but you know what I'm talking about. She's a badass. Like, I absolutely love this woman. Love this character. Some of the best moments in this movie involve her character. She is funny when she needs to be. Absolutely go full on savage on dudes and just killing people left and right, and it just is beautiful. There are 2 main villains in this movie, and I thought Andy Serkis was very, very good as Ulysses Claw. He's one of the characters that I said was not given enough screen time, but I absolutely love it when he's on screen. This dude, he's not alright. Like, something is wrong with this dude, like, I'm telling you. And it is fantastic to see. Like, like sometimes you just forget just how good of an actor Andy Serkis is. You know, we know he's really good as, you know, the CG character with like Caesar and King Kong and Gollum and whatnot. But when he's not himself, but like when he's not in the CG suit, he is a really, really good actor. And, you know, recently we kind of forget about that. And last but not least, oh my God, Michael B. Jordan. Eric Killmonger, he's not just one of the greatest Marvel villains, he's one of the greatest villains in superhero movie, period. The writing for this character is superb, his motivation is clear as heck. Like, I would put myself in his position, and I'm like, I can't really see myself doing that much different from this character, and that's just great writing for the villain, because his motivation is absolutely justifiable. It's just that his method, like going about it, is sort of questionable, I guess. And at the end of the movie, he delivered one of my favorite lines in the history of movies. Like, the moment he said that, I was like, yo, that was real. And this is also an extremely political movie, and that was where, you know, I was kind of concerned about it. You know, like, again, I'm not a really political person. I hate politics. But luckily, this is a great example of how to do it right in a movie. And that is, the movie is not telling you what to think. It just presents you ideas, you know, different people with different opinions on certain matters. And you don't really feel like you're wrong for taking certain sides. Like, you could be on that side or be on this side, and you don't feel like a bad person for picking certain sides. If that makes any sense. Like, I don't think I'm making this as clear as I want it to be. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, it is a very political movie, but it's not one of those, like, very preachy sort of, you know, like, yeah, I don't know. I can't really think of it like an example. I mean, if you watch, like, The Flash, Supergirl, you know, they try to do some of those, you know, they're trying to have some of those political message, and it's just so on the nose, and I'm like, come on, guys, really? But this movie, much like Wonder Woman, is, again, very political, but not in the sense that, you know, I'm going to educate my viewers. Not really. But rather, they're trying to start a conversation, and they invite the viewers to join in, and, you know, to encourage people to talk about these things. And that's I think that's how you do, you know, political message and that kind of stuff in movies effectively. Now, the reason why I compared this movie to Wonder Woman, because when you really think about it, it's pretty similar. It's sort of a movement of some sort to give women, or in this case, the black community, some sort of voice, and to really show Hollywood that, you know, this could work. The effect of Black Panther on, you know, black kids are fairly similar to what Wonder Woman did for, let's say, young girls. So I feel like the two movies are similar in that way, is that it is a celebration of that culture, of that, you know, group of minorities, and hopefully in the futures that become the new norms in Hollywood. And I'm not just talking about, you know, having, you know, a 99%, you know, black cast or 99% women on the cast. I'm talking about the production, the people working, you know, in front and behind the camera, and hopefully, you know, in the writer's room is become more diverse, and, you know, on set you see more diversity. So I feel like Wonder Woman and Black Panther is really pushing for that, and fully support the movement. It's also extremely important to me that the music in my superhero movies is epic, and my God, the theme, the Black Panther theme is so good. Like, I'm still humming the score, you know, since last night, like the dun 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 dun. Oh my God, it's so good. And, you know, I know it's only February, and, you know, it's just very early to make that kind of a statement, but I think I already got my pick for best costume design for next year's Oscar, because I like it blows my mind, like, just how beautiful the costume this movie is, like just the color, like just how vibrant it is, like all the patterns, like the hats, and, you know, like all the coats, like it looks so cool, it looks so different, like it's not something that you see every day, like here in America. but it looks so cool, and like, it looks comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like something you just put on and like you just walk around towns, and you know, it just looks badass. It looks beautiful, you know, wearing it. And then like sandals, oh my god, love the sandals. I love the sandals. And speaking of February, I'm noticing a pattern here. Like, I feel like February is, you know, slowly becoming the years for, you know, game-changing superhero movie. I think last year we got Logan. Logan was a February movie, right? Yeah. And the year before that, Deadpool. And now we got Black Panther. I mean, I can't be the only one noticing this, right? I mean, in the end, guys, Black Panther is a fantastic addition to the MCU, and I love all these characters. I would love to see more of them in future installments. Some of these characters I would love to spend more time with. And, you know, some of the CGs could have used a little bit of improvement, but just the story, the writing, the material, the performance from the actors, the action, the costume again, and like the cinematography, everything is just so, you know. So those are like minor sort of problems that I have with the movie. It just is minor. If you haven't seen Black Panther, I cannot recommend this movie enough. And you know, to see a young filmmaker of colors just wreaking havoc in Hollywood right now is pretty damn inspiring. I'm gonna give Black Panther a 9 out of 10. Definitely go see this movie. Bring your friends, bring your families, bring your co-worker, bring a stranger to this. You have to go see this movie. You have to support this movie. It is beautiful. It is so good. In the comment section, guys, let me know how you feel about the movie. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And what was your favorite? Well, again, I keep doing this. I keep asking for a favorite moment. Well, I mean, as you can't still do it, just put like spoiler. And if you enjoy my review, click the like button, subscribe to me. You want to see more reviews like this. With that being said, I'll see you soon. Wakanda forever.